Yeah, I thought it was a great game for our team. I thought our offense had an incredible plan, just a ton of really tough outs, tough at bats um, against a very quality frontline pitcher. And I think that was the key to the game when you look at their offense versus our offense and our ability to just grind out at bats, one after the other was outstanding. Um, and then, of course, Pete was outstanding as well. You know, this kid loves being in those big game environments, and he's been exceptional for us. And, you know, might have to help us a little more in the regional, but I know for sure if we get out of this thing, he'll be ready for next Friday. Um, just really proud of our team. We came out, we played the game like we have been playing. We embraced the regional, the crowd, the atmosphere, and that was fun to see.
Start with questions for the players. Go ahead.
For both Pete and Skylar. Pete, how did you work your way out of that jam in the fifth inning? And Skylar, how did you all break the game open in the bottom half?
I'll start. I mean, I think I love the pressure moments. Kind of when the game's on the line, those are the best pitches. Those are my favorite pitches to make. I think obviously there's a little pressure that comes with it, just because you got to be that much more fine. But I mean, I think I just kind of let my defense work and kind of got just a little bit more locked in right there. Obviously, they're a good hitting team, so if I make a mistake, they're going to jump on it. And they did that a couple times a day. So, yeah, I mean, I live for those kind of high moments.
Yeah, like Coach was saying, our lineup 1 through 9 today just did a great job of just putting together quality at bats. Dougie, DC, Todd, just those lengthy at bats, that add up. They add up quick, and then you keep putting those at bats together. Then, like you said, you break it open. So just really just staying true to our plan and just trusting it and just competing.
Skylar, how was it playing your first NCAA tournament game? Any nerves, or did having that specific of a plan help out and make it easy to go and execute it at the plate?
Yeah, I was pumped. Super, excited to just have this opportunity, but it's just another game. So just want to come out and play hard and get a win.
Just following up on that, though, you hadn't been in this situation before. I'm sure you had to have some real excitement this week to get to do this for the first time and the experience of actually doing it.
Yeah, absolutely. That's why you play for the postseason, and I was just excited to take the field with this group of guys and compete, and just go out there and just compete with my guys.
Skylar, did you watch postseason games when you were at Kansas, or you just was over and you didn't want anything to do with it?
No, yeah, I was watching,
Yeah?
for sure.
So,
More fun playing, right?
Yeah.
and how do you feel about, you putting up big numbers, and maybe on any other team there might be an MVP or even National Player of the Year candidate. Do you feel appreciated, with what you've brought to this team?
Yeah, I don't really think about that kind of stuff. I'm just want to come here and produce and just help the team win. And that's what's cool about this team is we don't really care who gets the credit. So that's kind of our mindset, and that's why I love this team so much.
Right, Nick.
Yeah, David, just want to ask about Austin. I think it's 14 straight games with a hit for him now, and his batting average, he's raised it like 30 or 40 points over the last month. Just, what's working so well for him at the plate?
Well, I think about probably 6 weeks ago, they went to work on just a adjustment in his approach and an adjustment in his stance, just keep his head behind the ball a little bit better and not dive, and allow him to be on time. And if he's on time, he doesn't have to supply power because he has power. The whole key was just being simple and on time for him.
Any other questions for the players before we let them go? Danny, go ahead.
I had one for David. Going back to Austin, I think this is at least the third time in the last 6 or 7 games that he's worked at least a 10-pitch count. How big is that for this offense, and what's kind of been the key to that, his patience and being able to work those counts, long counts?
I think, again, we'll go back just his head movement and just being behind the ball. He sees the ball so much better, so he's able to foul off the tough pitch. And, he's not falling on his nose per se on the chase slider. He's taking that pitch. So I just think it's an approach in his head movement and just simplifies. And he's got a lot of pride. The guy works his tail off, and he wants to be successful. But I just think he's gotten comfortable. Doesn't matter if it's 95 or if it's a really plus slider. He's just in a good spot mentally and seeing the ball well.
Last one for the players. Cedric, go ahead.
Yeah, for both guys, two questions. The first one, you see a guy take a shot off his face and he's up in like 8 seconds. Have you ever seen anything like that? And second, Marcus's toss to first base may have been the longest underhand toss in baseball history. Coy, yeah, the most longest underhanded toss in baseball history. What was the reaction in the dugout?
I mean, yeah, I was in the dugout for both of those. Coy's was definitely interesting. I mean, we don't practice that. I'm not gonna say that's something to encourage, but yeah, and I think he just got a little excited. But I mean, yeah, it was. I've never seen anything like that. What the Air Force guy did, but staying on the mound like that was crazy impressive. Just kind of sticks to their character, and I don't think there's any hesitation for him that he wanted that ball and he wanted to stay in the game. So, I mean, it was pretty cool to see the fight that guy kind of had, and the fact that he wanted to stay up there. And you know, it just says a lot about the character of that team and those guys.
I agree. I think the character of the team, what they represent, and then how well they've played to be in this position. I mean, it's a pretty good story. Kaz has done a great job with this group, and you knew coming in that they weren't going to be intimidated by Dish Fault or the regionals, and we had to go out and win the game. They weren't going to hand it to us. We put some pressure on them. They made some really nice plays. We made some nice plays. But Coy pitched a changeup and then rolled a changeup on that.
Yeah, I agree.
You want to comment on it?
Yeah, I mean,
Huh? Why did they get to leave and I have to stick around?
Well, there may not be any other questions. Maybe we don't have to.
All right, appreciate you guys.
Anything else?
At least you used to. It's
All right.
We're good?
You want anything else? Yeah. Okay. We'll let the guys go.
No, that's fine. That's good.
Go ahead, guys.
Thank you guys.
Horns up. All right, now the real question.
Joe, go ahead.
Did you have to do anything to make sure that what happened in April was kind of out of sight, out of mind for this team? And then also, when did you decide to switch things with Dylan and Mitchell and Murph?
Well, back to April, I think it was a frustrating period. We still have some frustrations at times just because we're trying to be perfectionists. It's hard to be a perfectionist in this game. So you're very demanding on it. But I don't think you can be demanding with these kids anymore unless they know that you really are working with them. It's not any other way. And they know that this entire coaching staff is on board with them. They don't always like the answers, but they love the truth and they understand it. And so I think that's been the key, is that we've just continued to put our head down. And you've seen us here and there where we give up a 10 spot, we give up an 8 spot, and it's frustrating. But you have to understand that our guys have been in such a good spot that we have to have a short memory and get over it and move on. And I think this team and coaching staff has done a wonderful job of that. As far as the combination, I thought Dylan did an awesome job when EK was out. And I didn't want to just go EK back in the lineup, Dylan out of the lineup, because he has produced and helped this team so much. I felt like going against Skeens today that it might end up being a speed game. And they don't hit a lot of ground balls. I mean, they're a fly ball team. And so I thought going into this, we're going to cover more outfield with those 3 guys in the outfield. And you can't take Murph out of the lineup right now. So, today Mitch was the odd man out. He understood it. We did in our pregame. I made it very aware to our team that defensively he's the best second baseman in the country. And he's going to be in there and we're going to need him. And so we are at the stage of our season that stats don't matter. Who gets the credit doesn't matter. It's just the toughness that we need to go out and do whatever it takes to win the game. You know, you could look back. I even told these kids this pregame. I mean, John Elway, Brett Favre go out and throw 3 picks in the first half, and then never back down. And we talk about, you know, make the pitch when the game's on the line. I thought Marcus did that. I thought Pete did that. Expect and want the ball hit to you all the time, and embrace that. And then understand it. At times, it only takes one swing, and just them buying into that message and buying into what our coaches do on a day-to-day is it's just refreshing. It really is refreshing.
Safe to say Skylar was probably pretty low key all week about all this stuff, but can you just touch on, for him to get to play in this atmosphere for the first time and then do what he's done all year, basically, to have this experience?
I mean, we experienced it with Mike and Tico last year, and then to get Skylar in this transfer portal and all the things that's happening with it, it's a little overwhelming. And to be able to grab the right guys and insert them has been pretty cool to watch. But Skylar has been what you saw today, what you saw on the field. No matter if he's been successful or had a poor day, he has been that guy since he got here. And, you know, he heard a lot about Cam Williams, of how vocal Cam was and how aggressive Cam was. He just stayed stoic. He continued to be himself, and he does it every single day by his play. And he has fit into this program and in this group so well. And it's awesome for him to go out and have a great game and to play in this atmosphere because he's earned it.
Did you pretty much get what you wanted today? You got a lot of offense from a lot of different people.
If I could have drawn this game up today, I would have drawn it up just like it happened.
Yeah.
You know, you play it in your mind. You kind of look at things, what we need to do to be successful against Skeens, what we need to do to be successful against their offense, and it was good.
And on Skyler, do you think he's gotten the credit nationally that
No,
he would?
I really don't. And I mean, Murph could have been potentially the player of the Big 12. I mean, second team All-American, but he could have been the Big 12 player of the year. He just happens to play with the Big 12 player of the year, you know?
Thank you, Coach. Appreciate it.
All right, guys. See you tomorrow.